May I now invite the esteemed panelist for Leadership Session 2, Unlocking Latent Potential in Aspirational Districts and Blocks, focusing on strengthening rural livelihoods, enhancing local economies, and emerging opportunities for CSR, to kindly come forward and take their seats on stage. Respected Shri Sushant Kumar Bhuwan sir, Senior Director, Program Smile Foundation, Honorable Shri Sirish Kumar Ravipati ji, Founder and Managing Director, Faith Calling Foundation Trust, esteemed Kumari Manisha ji, Senior Lead, Program Operations, Vision Spring Foundation, respected Shri Vivek Prakash ji, Senior Vice President and Head CSR, Jubilant Ingredient Limited, and may I also invite our moderator, Professor Rohan Sharma ji, Social Scientist and invited CSR and Sustainability Expert, BIS, CII and EBG Federation, Chair, Business and Affirmative Action Council, Ambedkar Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Please welcome them all with a big round of applause as they take their seats.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. आप सबको बहुत नमस्कार and greetings of Makar Sankranti and the harvest season. आज का जो दिन है बहुत ही important है हमारे लिए because we're talking about one of Government of India's transformational programs, which is known as the ADP, the Aspirational District Program. And I think आज हमारे साथ बहुत सारे दिग्गज बैठे हैं और रुसेन जी का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद कि रुसेन जी को मैं मानता हूँ that he is the फेविकॉल. वो भारत जोड़ने का काम करते हैं, सबको एक साथ लेके आते हैं. और सबसे मुझे क्या अच्छा लगता है कि रुसेन जी का, इसलिए मैं उनको कभी ना नहीं बोल पाता हूँ. एक तो उनका जो सिंसेरिटी है that is unparalleled, कंसिस्टेंसी जो है, बट सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट जो है मुझे लगता है इंडिया CSR का बहुत पर्पसफुल इवेंट्स करते हैं हुसैन जी. और आपने जो CSR फॉर एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स एंड एस्पिरेशनल ब्लॉक्स के ऊपर चर्चा करने का सोचा है, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है क्योंकि वी आर ऑलमोस्ट नियरिंग 10 years I'm sorry of when this program was first started in January 2018 by the Honorable PM. We are also celebrating 3 years of the Aspirational Blocks program. And I think we are also celebrating, other than celebrating Rusen ji's birthday, for all who don't know, happy belated birthday, Rusen ji, it was a few days back. So I think we are all in a celebration mode, but सबसे ज़्यादा जो हम आज celebrate कर रहे हैं वो हम अपने देश को celebrate करना चाहते हैं. हम चाहेंगे कि कैसे भारत का जो भी achievements है उसको हम celebrate करें. जो NGO से हमारे मित्र आए हैं कैसे उनका जो अचीवमेंट्स है उनको सेलिब्रेट करें, जो कॉर्पोरेट से हमारे मित्र हैं उनका अचीवमेंट सेलिब्रेट करें. सो विदाउट एनी फर्दर डू, ये जो सेशन का टाइटल है वो है अनलॉकिंग लेटेंट पोटेंशियल. अब ये लेटेंट शब्द, सम ऑफ यू मस्ट बी नोइंग दिस वर्ड लेटेंट हैज लैंडेड अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल इन ट्रबल. यंगस्टर्स, यू आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम सेइंग? I speak the language of the young, the old and the forgotten. So this word latent has landed a lot of people in trouble, but today hopefully it will not land us in trouble because we're talking about the latent potential. और ये हमें मानना है कि India does not exist in the cities. India exists in the villages. India exists in geographies that we do not talk about. India success story is created by people who live in the rural areas, who are the invisible voices. And I think आज का हमारा जो सेशन है उसमें we will try to visualize some of these voices. तो इस जो सेशन होगी सर, and will come one by one to all of you. All of you are representing different institutions. My job will be that of a tailor. I will try to speak the least, except the inaugural initial talks which I'm giving. हम basically ये जो सेशन है इसमें स्ट्रैटेजी के बारे में बात करेंगे कि आप लोग जो कॉर्पोरेट सेक्टर से हो, आप जो सब संस्था से हो, व्हाट स्ट्रैटेजी हैव यू यूज्ड टू अनलॉक पोटेंशियल इन एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स. और इसके लिए मैं हमारे CK प्रहलाद साहब, जो कि हैज बीन वन ऑफ द एक्सीलेंट एकेडमिक्स, और आई वुड से CSR के बारे में जब हम बात करते हैं, वेरी कॉमन, यू विल नो पॉपुलरली द बॉटम ऑफ द पिरामिड, जो कि CK प्रहलाद साहब, उनका किताब का वो नाम था, where he said that it is important to work with the poor people for business for businesses' selfish interest because they constitute a market, right? और हम ये भी बातचीत आज करेंगे जो एनजीओज बोलते हैं कि सर कॉर्पोरेट्स हमारे साथ काम नहीं करते हैं, कि कॉर्पोरेट्स ये थीमेटिक नहीं सपोर्ट करते हैं. उनके लिए मैं ये बोलना चाहूंगा कि आप कॉर्पोरेट का क्या इंटरेस्ट है उसको समझे पहले. कॉर्पोरेट सरकार नहीं है. कॉर्पोरेट का एक गोल है, एक मैंडेट है. तो आज हम यहाँ पे जो इतने लोग जन बैठे हैं, we come from different institutions, we come from different mandates, and we will try to see how we can converge everything, because one of the approaches of the Aspirational Districts program, which I've been associated from the very beginning, and I will talk about some of my work in Aspirational Districts over the last 15 years, is 3 C's. और मैं चाहता हूं कि हमारी जो ऑडियंस है, आप भी इस सेशन का स्पीकर हो. If we are talking of inclusive development, we must walk the talk. And for this session and for all the session that I will moderate, all of you sitting here are also equal speakers and moderators. Right? So let's start with the audience. I want to respect the wisdom of all of you sitting here. I want to respect the work that all of you have done. What are the 3 C's of the Aspirational Districts program? Quickly. Okay? Yes? Not you, ma'am. Somebody else on the other side. Because we need to go on the left, right, center. Excellent. So let's start with that, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll always start with ladies first. Is that okay with you, ma'am?
So I'll start my presentation first. Since morning, we are listening about aspirational districts, its history, what has been done till now, our anger, especially what I heard. जो अभी past के कुछ लोग आए, मेरे को उनमें गुस्सा बहुत दिख रहा था कि हमने ये नहीं किया, हमारा ये नहीं हुआ. So थोड़ा पॉजिटिविटी लाते हैं. Let's focus on what Vision Spring has done. Might be उस गुस्से में थोड़ा सा कंट्रोल हो. We'll understand what Vision Spring has done till now, what we are going to do it in future, and what things we expect from all of us. स्पेशली जब हम एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट की बात करते हैं तो इसका जो बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट था वो था एसडीजीज को लोकलाइज करना. एसडीजीज जब हम बात करते हैं ना, इट्स क्वाइट हैवी टर्म, तो उसको लोकलाइज लेवल पे कैसे लेके जाए, जिन लोगों के लिए इसे बनाया गया है वो उसको कैसे अंडरस्टैंड करें, उससे बेनिफिट करें, इसके लिए करा था हमने. सो आई विल स्टार्ट विद विजन स्प्रिंग. विजन स्प्रिंग एक संस्था है जो आई स्क्रीनिंग में डील करती है, स्पेशली फॉर बीओपी, एंड आई ग्लासेस डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करती है. मैं एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल लेती हूँ जो हमने अभी बीच में लैंसेट और आरसीटी स्टडीज करी थी कि कुछ आंगनवाड़ी वर्कर्स थी वो फिल नहीं कर पाती थी, फॉर्म्स फिल नहीं कर पाती थी. प्रोडक्टिविटी के टर्म्स में हम बात करते हैं, एवरी डे दे हैव टू रिपोर्ट, उनको चैलेंजेस आते थे, एट द एंड रिपोर्ट्स गलत होती थी. If I see on the dais, all 5 of us are wearing specs. अगर मैं बोलूँ कि we'll remove and let's continue the session, I think सबको थोड़ी बहुत difficulty होगी. So it is just a small example. Next slide. Okay. So अगर हम recent studies देखें, काफ़ी literature है इस पे available. 500 साल पुरानी टेक्नोलॉजी है चश्मे जो होते हैं. So 10.5 करोड़ लोग जो हैं एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में, उनको चश्मे चाहिए. इसमें 60% एडल्ट्स हैं जो 30 इयर्स के ऊपर हैं, जो एंड मेजॉरिटी अभी तक हमने कवर नहीं करी है. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. ये हमारी कुछ एक स्टडीज़ हैं जो हमने डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के साथ मिल के करी है. इसके बाद हमने इम्पैक्ट निकाला है कि आई ग्लासेस के क्या इम्पैक्ट होते हैं. शॉर्ट टर्म इम्पैक्ट मैंने इस डैश के ऊपर ही दिखाया. इनफैक्ट जो लोग भी ग्लासेस वेयर करते हैं या जिन्हें भी प्रॉब्लम होती है, दे कैन ईजिली अंडरस्टैंड एंड कोरिलेट. हमारे लिए बहुत ईजी है एक पेयर ऑफ आई ग्लासेस एक्सेस करना. उसमें भी काफ़ी हेजिटेशन होती है इनिशियल ईयर्स में, हम अवॉइड करते हैं. ओवर द टाइम फिर हमें लगता है कि नहीं अब इसकी रिक्वायरमेंट है, देन वी गो. नाउ यू कैन रिलेट कि इन एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट में जो लोग हैं उनके लिए ये फिर कितनी टफ सिचुएशन है टू गो एक्सेस और खुद को कन्विंस करना कि नहीं मुझे ये चाहिए. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. सो हमारा 2019 में एक सी नाउ कैंपेन आया था, एंड ये काफ़ी बड़ा कैंपेन था जिससे काफ़ी जागरूकता आई थी इंडिया में. एंड आप देख सकते हैं इसकी टैगलाइन थी, कहीं देर से अंधेर ना हो जाए, अपनी आंखों का चेकअप कराएं. और इससे हमने काफ़ी बड़ी इंटरवेंशंस करी थी, स्पेशली इन डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में करी थी. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. हमारी कोई भी प्रोग्राम वो स्टैंड अलोन नहीं है. विजन स्प्रिंग ने अपने सारे प्रोग्राम्स को गवर्नमेंट की स्कीम्स एसडीजीज के साथ अलाइन करके रखा है. हम 3 थीमेटिक एरियाज, अभी तक हम सीज पीज पे बात कर रहे थे, मैं एस पे बात करूंगी. सी टू लर्न, सी टू अर्न एंड सी टू बी सेफ हमने फोकस किए हैं अपने. और जो अगर आप देखेंगे एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट के शुरू के 60%, 30% इज फॉर हेल्थ एंड 30% इज फॉर एजुकेशन, वो यहाँ कंप्लीटली कवर हो रहे हैं. प्लस गवर्नमेंट की जो स्कीम है उनके साथ अलाइंड है. तो इससे कन्वर्जेंस में बहुत ही हेल्प मिलती है एंड इसका इम्पैक्ट बहुत ही सही आता है. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. ये हमारे अभी तक के फुटप्रिंट्स हैं एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में 21 स्टेट्स में. अगर आप देखें तो हमने जो नंबर ऑफ स्क्रीनिंग्स करी हैं उनको कलर्स के थ्रू यहाँ शो करा है. लेस देन 500 स्क्रीनिंग्स जहाँ करी हैं वो ब्लू कलर में है, और जो डार्क रेड है वहाँ मोर देन 2000 स्क्रीनिंग्स हमने करी हुई हैं. अभी तक 1668 विलेजेस को हमने कवर कर लिया है एंड मोर देन 3000 आई स्क्रीनिंग कैंप्स करे हैं. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. इससे अभी तक 2.67 लाख जो यहाँ पे दिख रहा है लोगों को हमने रीच आउट करा है. बट जो सबसे बड़ा इम्पैक्ट है वो है 292 करोड़ का इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट. ये काफ़ी छोटा फिगर है बट लॉन्ग रन में उन लोगों के बारे में सोचिए जिन तक ये टेक्नोलॉजी पहुंची है इन लोकेशंस पर एंड जिनको रिक्वायरमेंट है. अगर ये फिगर्स, ऊपर वाले फिगर्स को हम देखें तो अगर हम सिर्फ करेक्शंस की बात करें तो ये रिक्वायरमेंट की फिगर अगर 10.4 करोड़ है वो कन्वर्ट होके बहुत बड़ी हो जाती है. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. सो हमारा जो टारगेट है वो है लो इनकम एंड रिमोट रीजन्स में आई ग्लासेस लोगों तक पहुंचाना, सर्विस क्वालिटी देना. और ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने एक बार आउटरीच किया, ग्लासेस दिए और वहां से आप निकल गए. हमें इंश्योर करना होता है कि वो सस्टेन हो वहाँ. उनके लिए हम सेकंड पेयर, थर्ड पेयर के लिए चैनल बना के निकलें. कल को हमारी 300 कैंप्स नहीं कर रही होंगी बट उन्हें जो नेक्स्ट पेयर ऑफ आई ग्लासेस की नीड हो वो वहाँ अवेलेबल हो. And this is our 2050 goal कि by 2050 we'll cover the entire population of aspirational districts and I request everyone to collaborate क्योंकि ये अकेले नहीं हो सकता है. and especially एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में डुप्लीकेशन की जरूरत नहीं है. बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम सेम लेवल पे सेम टारगेट ग्रुप को डिलीवर कर रहे हैं वही प्रोग्राम. सो अगर हम एक कोलैबोरेटिव अप्रोच करें, एक साथ करें तो विल डिलीवर मोर एंड जितनी जल्दी हो सकेगा हम इन ग्रुप को कवर करेंगे. थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you so much, Manisha ji. We couldn't have had a better start to our panel discussion, and love the way you really started with the 3 C's approach, and then you added value. So when we do development work, we always talk about creating shared value, and thank you so much for adding the 3 S's to it. I'm hoping that other speakers will add more layers to it. But the reason I started with you was not just because you were the only lady on the panel, but also you are talking of vision. And it's so important that before starting any Shubh Kaam, we have a vision, right? Otherwise, we are all in the dark. And I think this visionary project or the program that Honorable PM started in 2018, was so relevant. And you will see that what started in 2018 after the huge success of the Aspirational Districts program, today the government of India has embarked in 2023 with the Aspirational Blocks program, and who knows, in the future we might have an aspirational Gram Panchayat program. So it's very clear that today development, or when we talk of sustainable development, we cannot talk of sustainable development unless it's inclusive, unless we talk of our villages, unless we talk of our vulnerable population. And thank you so much, ma'am, for really telling us that for us to be able to pick out or identify what is hidden, just our eyesights are sometimes not enough. You need a pair of spectacles.
Identify the solvable, what you can solve at instant. Instead of implementing something big, we are always we think and target. We have to do something big. Thank you. You can thank.
And you also said that all of us, what unites all of us on stage is that we're all wearing spectacles. But I think there's also diversity aspect to it. We all are wearing different types of spectacles. And I love your spectacles, ma'am. I said all of you in the audience are also part of the panel discussion. So thank you, ma'am, for setting the context. And with that, we move on to the second speaker, Sirish Kumar Ravipati ji, founder and managing director of the Faith Calling Foundation Trust, who will tell us why it is important to have faith in the government of India, why it's important to have faith in people like you. And sometimes belief and faith are very important when we talk of something larger. And I'm told that, sir, you have come up with a model that is unique to India, and we are here to celebrate the Bharatiya model of development. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished participants, the Aspirational District Program and the Aspirational Blocks Program were conceived to accelerate the development in a region that consistently lag behind the national averages. These are the areas where the systematic alignment and measurement and continuity have historically been weak. The ADP, ABP challenges are not individual problems, they are the system problems. The success of any initiative taken up in the national level requires focus, implementation, governance, and outcome-driven thinking. At FCFT, Faith Calling Foundation Trust, we have built a reference architecture that is designed for outcomes. The framework is designed and implemented, translates behavior into auditable actions. One of my executive director, she will take control and she will explain everything. But I am I'm an environmental scientist. So I have developed a unique concept that is nowhere in the globe. I will explain that one. Only few minutes. It will use every solution of whatever the questions we have. This is a 4 linkage. First concept is CDFM, Central Dogma of Frequency Metabolic. If anybody has done their PhD or science subject, you know our DNA genome, DNA, RNA conversion, that's called Central Dogma of Molecular Biology. Now I am introducing the Central Dogma of Frequency Metabolism. For any growth, we are planning schemes and programs for the beneficiary of the human beings. But no science will change their behavior of attitude or habits. But this will give the clear picture. This is a 100 pages research program I have done on CDFM, and these are only the lines of this major CDF program, means human behavioral changes. Next, that's the GCMS, Global Coherence Monitoring System. Whatever the programs that you are doing, you can monitor in your room. That is the technology adoption. Then RFID, you know that one, is a ground reality radio frequency identification device. It can be used in different sectors, in the agriculture sector, in national mineral development sector, and everything will be coordinated in one frame, and you will get everything in one structure. That's the outcome. This is the, I'm introducing the concept of CDFM, what it gives, how it gives. So CDFM is a unique reference architecture designed to explain how humans and institutions and technologies metabolize information into behavior and outcomes, structure for understanding across age groups and cultural context, with no directly comparable global framework at a unified system level. This concept fulfills the critical gaps between CSR intent and the on-ground execution of ADP and ABP. And this concept serves as a unifying bridge, fulfilling the structural and executional gap between CSR frameworks and ADP, ABP implementation. And this concept connects the CSR objectives with ADP and ABP outcomes by addressing the gaps between the policy and execution. And now I'm inviting my executive director, how we are implementing this concept into livelihood projects and to enhance the agriculture sector. Please, can you come? She's Madhu Jorlipudi. She's the executive director of Faith Calling Foundation Trust.
I'll just take a few minutes. I'm really privileged to throw some light on how we are unique as an organization. A professor here actually raised this question about strategy. of what is it that kind of drives an outcome, right? So one of the big questions that we have so far seen is how CSRs or organizations that have a CSR committee have some objective, how NGOs run after some objectives, and how the nation, the policymakers, and other individuals drive some objectives. So we as an organization, we have found one objective to pursue after. So we found that the young people who are dropouts, who are students who do not have access to education, who do not have access to careers, who do not have access to mentorship, who do not have access to reasonable livelihood and opportunities for them to grow, we want to actually pick them and guide them, train them, empower them, and help them to become change makers in India. That is our vision. Now, how are we doing this? So, like most of our distinguished speakers highlighted, any initiative that is a short-term one, maybe it will end up with a laddu and say, okay, no, that is what we have been able to do with the money that we've put in. So that is not what we are after. We really want to see an outcome, a behavioral change in the people that we are investing in. So what we have done is we have brought together all the entities that can make this solution or an outcome happen, right? How are we doing that? We are, yes, the implementation partner, a social innovation partner, but we are running after behavioral change, taking someone who practically has a limited scope for development and actually making them change makers. And it's a long journey. So you would see that our programs are no less than 5 years. We work with youngsters. Our very recent initiative is we've signed up an agreement with the juvenile homes back in Hyderabad. And we are working with the youngsters who are in correctional homes and helping them actually build on a couple of themes. One is we are focusing on equipping them on core industry. We are also equipping them on moral education, behavioral change, and things like that. So our founder, he's a scientist. So the framework that he was referring to earlier is actually something that helps build human transformation and behavioral change. So we have on our panel people who are advising us on how behavioral transformation can happen in people over time. Right, so we are including the advice and insight of scientists, technology partners, people who can come teach, people who can actually make transformation happen. And on the other hand, we are also helping our students build skills on communication, advocacy, and also entrepreneurship. So, the next time you see us, I'd like to actually ask you or request you to question us and hold us accountable on how far we have come and what changes we have been able to drive in the youngsters that we have been investing on. I have a bunch of stories that I can tell you about, how transformation is happening with the young people who are in correction homes. We've done a lot of study, we've done a lot of intervention programs with them. This is the challenge that I want to leave with you. What is the outcome that you want to give back to India so that it's part of the true Viksit Bharat? What is that outcome? We have defined an outcome, we have signed up for that, and we're journeying towards it. Yes, there will be partners, there will be technology partners, there will be people who will be investing their money, there will be people who will be, organizations who will be part of this outcome. And there will be youngsters whose lives will be transformed. So find your outcome, find that vision, and journey with people who would want to make that happen along with you. And with that thought, I'll thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I think both of you, again, embodied one of the core principles of the Aspirational District program, which is collaboration. So I love the way both of you collaborated on presenting this. So kudos to you. I also like the way you added value to ma'am's. I think in this session, very interesting. We started with 3 C's, which is collaboration, competition, convergence. We went on to 3 S's. You also spoke of the 3 V's, right? So it's lovely to see how we're actually having a class on English here. You know, alphabets are becoming important, and I'm looking forward to the other 2 speakers. But 2 key things that came out, sir, in your session, which was so important. And when we talk of strategy for unlocking potential in aspiration districts, and I would love to hear from Vivek ji, because he comes from the corporate sector. It's very important to understand the business perspective of why do they see strategic value in really investing in aspirational districts. And maybe I'll come to you right away. If you can see, I'm constantly traveling between left and right. And that's very important. When you work, don't make yourselves comfortable. There are perspectives on either sides that are important. And as we do work in aspirational districts, it's important to have an inclusive and a 360-degree approach. So we've heard the perspectives from the civil society organization so far. Vivek ji, over to you. You have been doing excellent work in the sector. But specifically for aspirational districts, हम आपसे जानना चाहेंगे, why does it make business sense for your company to have a long-term approach in unlocking potential that is hidden in our aspirational districts? Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Rohan. I think today we are discussing on CSR and its use and how we can use CSR for aspirational districts. So I think we are discussing different things. So CSR came from where? CSR is the outcome of a business process, and then profit coming out of business, and then out of profit 2% of that profit is to be used on CSR. So, and again we are saying that okay, out of this CSR we have to do something or quick fix the solution. Like aspirational district is we want quick fix. Okay, out of this fund we will do something, and we will show that okay, indicators, changing indicators, especially human indicators, it takes time. So like madam shows the 5 + 1 + 1, it takes time. So you cannot quick fix any solution immediately. So you can do few programs like in her case. So she is doing screening, giving a spectacle, but it's not just giving specs to those persons. They are also there till the time the person you start utilizing it and profitably utilizing it, so that they can further buy specs in future and continue and support the society and their family and the society also. So it takes time. So my request would be, first identify the potentials of that aspirational district. Everywhere, every part of this country, there are some potentials. So usually we in the management term we tell it 3M, that money, matter, and finally manpower. So without money and material you cannot run any business, and without manpower also you cannot run any business. So my request would be, we should reverse this discussion and we should think how can we explore these 3 things in that particular districts and start investing in those districts. So it's not just CSR brings CSR. CSR will not bring change. If business will be there, profit will generate there, and out of profit, certainly CSR and some social development will also happen. It's not that okay, first you bring CSR, you bring social development and then bring business. It cannot happen. You have to bring some businesses there. You have to identify the latent potential in that area, either some minerals. You see the list of districts, aspirational districts. They are having minerals. So why not to utilize those minerals for setting up plant in that particular district? You are taking minerals and sending it to some other district. Why not to utilize establishing some at least MSME or some industry in that particular district, so that the local talent local infrastructure will be improved, and certainly we can see the changes. If industry will come, certainly institutions will also grow, academic institutions will grow, health infrastructure will also grow, and development will happen. I think this is meaningless to say, because CSR is with a purpose. CSR is not for the development of this country. You just, CSR is from the profit of this business world, and they have to fulfill their responsibility towards society. It doesn't mean that they will go to every part of this country or every part of this world. As Swadesh Foundation explained, you identify one area and do concentrated effort, and then and bring some changes. Same way CSR is first to
in natural resources, and yet when it comes to human development indicators, and they are so poor. So I think talking of aspirational districts is the need of the hour, because when we talk of Viksit Bharat, and we also see that the pillars or the stakeholders that the Viksit Bharat prioritizes, the farmers, our annadatas, Mahilaye, youth. Today, I think India is blessed with our youths, and many of our youth who have a hunger in their belly are coming from rural areas, yet the fruits of development are not reaching them, right? So, Vinay, just, I think you spoke about such an interesting aspect, and I just want to briefly summarize that for, before we come to you, sir, to make us smile. I think it's always good to end with smiles, and I kept you at the end. But, sir, you spoke about and the business model. So you also spoke about what I would interpret as the value chain. You spoke about how at different parts of doing business, in the upstream and the downstream, you can actually be playing the role of a responsible business in which you generate livelihoods, in which you actually take a conscious policy decision that I will only purchase from SHGs. So how does a big business support smaller businesses? Wonderful. And with that, sir, I think, thank you so much. Along with unlocking, I think the title should also be unlearning, because, you helped us unlearn and reverse the thinking. So that was the corporate thinking. And now we come back. Sir, you have a smile on your face already. You're a great brand ambassador for Smile Foundation. May you always smile. And over to you, sir, the last speaker, Sushant Bhuvanji, with the Smile Foundation.
Yeah, it's now time to move from vision to action. And Smile Foundation, I'll just briefly talk about Smile Foundation maybe a minute, then I'll move to the topic. Smile Foundation लगभग 20 साल से ऊपर पुराने संस्था है. हम लोग लगभग 26 स्टेट्स में काम करते हैं. 20 लाख हम लोगों के पास हर एक साल पहुंचते हैं. हमारा जो प्रोग्राम्स है हेल्थ में है, वी रन मोर देन 100 mobile medical unit which goes to the doorstep and provide health services in remote areas. In education, we do starting from learning improvement to STEM education and infrastructure. And as a part of women empowerment, we support women for economic empowerment, and we also do the skilling and upskilling of the youth. So we believe in life cycle approach of a family, and our approach of implementation is civic driven change. We believe we have to collaborate with the civil society to bring a lasting change. These are our belief. Coming back to the topic of today, एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में हमारा जो आज उपस्थिति है लगभग 90 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स में है आउट ऑफ 112. वी आर ऑपरेटिंग इन मोर देन 90 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स इन आउट ऑफ 112 एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स. आउट ऑफ 500 ऑपरेशनल ब्लॉक्स हम सब करीबन 50 ब्लॉक्स में हम अभी भी काम कर रहे हैं. इन 3-4 जो वर्टिकल्स में हम काम कर रहे हैं. अब बात आ रहा है कि डेवलपमेंट के बारे में. व्हेन आई वाज इन द स्टूडेंट, द फर्स्ट क्लास में मेरा प्रोफेसर जो थे, who has written a lot of books on social work, is called Professor K.K. Jacob, who is the founder of Udaipur Schools of Social Work. तो हमने पूछा what is development? The word develop कहाँ से आता? What is the word develop? तो हम लोग घबरा गए, क्या बताएंगे? और प्रोफेसर ने बताया, आपने एनवेलप देखा है? बोले हाँ. Opposite of envelope is develop, and this is a metaphor. Just think, the गहराई में क्या है उसका पीछे. आप चारों तरफ खोल देते हो एनवेलप, सो एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रोग्राम उस एनालॉजी के साथ आप जोड़ के देखिए। आप जो जगह में सिद्धार्थ नगर श्रावस्ती उत्तर प्रदेश का सबसे लोएस्ट क्रिमिनल लिटरेसी डिस्ट्रिक्ट, जहां बच्चे को टेक्स्ट बुक नहीं पहुंचाया। yesterday I got a letter from district education officer asking Smile Foundation to support textbook in KGBB कस्तूरबा गांधी बालिका विद्यालय, बिकॉज उनका बोर्ड एग्जाम अभी आने वाला है, टेक्स्ट बुक नहीं पहुंचा है वहां। थिंक अबाउट, आप तेलंगाना का आदिलाबाद डिस्ट्रिक्ट, आसिफाबाद डिस्ट्रिक्ट जो एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, जहां में पिछले साल सरकार ने अंग्रेजी मीडियम कर दिए स्कूल्स को, और बच्चों को जो तेलुगु मीडियम में पढ़ाई करके अभी 10वीं 11वीं पहुंचे, उनको बोर्ड एग्जाम देना है। द डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन अप्रोच्ड अस कि सपोर्ट अस, कैसे हम हैंडल करेंगे ये प्रॉब्लम को हम। वी वेंट देयर, वी रन क्रैश कोर्सेस इन द स्कूल्स लास्ट ईयर, and the result of that district was 49% students were passing in the board exam, and with our effort it's moved to 92%. छोटा सा सपोर्ट है। The question I'm bringing is not about achievement, I'm talking about Smile. I'm talking about you have to co-create a model. You should know what is the need-based model. You have to create within the limited resource which sir was telling. 2% का जो भी आपके पास रिसोर्स आ रहा है, उसमें आप एज ए एनजीओ किस तरीके से इसको एक अच्छा मॉडल बना सकते हो ताकि इंपैक्ट आ जाए। अभी हमारा जिस टॉपिक का, इस सेशन का टॉपिक का है लोकल इकोनॉमी बढ़ाने में एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट और ब्लॉक में सीएसआर का भूमिका क्या हो सकता है। आई विल टॉक अबाउट वन मॉडल व्हिच अगेन इज वेरी co-created with the business houses and which is bringing change. We run more than 27 mobile skilling van जो कि एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट में घूमते रहते हैं। करते क्या है ये मोबाइल स्किलिंग वैन में आप जितने पेंटर्स देखे हैं गांव में पेंटर्स, उन पेंटर्स को अपग्रेड किया जाता है, अपस्किलिंग किया जाता है। अब बिजनेस का क्या इसमें फायदा है, इसे शेयर्ड वैल्यू मॉडल, उनका बर्जर इज सपोर्टिंग अस, तो बर्जर का जो शेयर्ड वैल्यू है उनका प्रचार प्रसार तो हो ही रहा है, उनका सीएसआर का भी काम हो रहा है, उससे भलाई क्या हो रहा है। दीज ऑल पेंटर्स, मोर देन 1 लाख पेंटर एनुअली आर बीइंग अपस्किल्ड एंड दे आर बीइंग अपस्किल्ड एंड ऑन द न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी ऑफ पेंटिंग। पहले ऐसा घिसते थे, अभी वो बड़ा रोलर में घिस रहे हैं, डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ पेंटिंग सीख रहे हैं। उससे 500 रुपए जो कमा रहे थे आज वो 1500 रुपया कमा रहे हैं। प्लम्बर, हमने प्लम्बर साथी रन किया उड़ीसा और झारखंड में, प्लम्बर साथी रन जो कि मोबाइल में प्लम्बर्स को ट्रेनिंग दे रहे हैं। नेट पाइप ही बदल गया है, टेक्नोलॉजी बदल गया है, उनको अपग्रेड कौन करेगा। अब लोकल इकोनॉमी की बात करते हैं, उसमें आपको शेयर्ड वैल्यू कॉन्सेप्ट में जाना पड़ेगा। सो द प्रॉब्लम्स आर मेनी। मेरा रिक्वेस्ट हमेशा यही है कि क्या हम एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के साथ, बिजनेस हाउसेस के साथ मिलकर को मॉडल को क्रिएट कर पाए, and that is going to be sustainable, that is going to be impactful, rather than having your own product and trying to implement that. You should be very very flexible. आपको उनके साथ समझना पड़ेगा, उनकी जरूरतें समझना पड़ेगा, उस जरूरत को समझते हुए आपको मॉडल तैयार करना पड़ेगा। चाहे वो आप देखिए कस्तूरबा गांधी विद्यालय जो कि सिद्धार्थ नगर में करीबन 15 विद्यालय है, जहां बच्चों को ना ही स्टेम लैब है, साइंस लैब है। आप सोचिए, वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एआई, उनको बेसिक साइंस लैब का एक्सेस नहीं है। क्या हम वहां एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के साथ मिलकर ऐसा मॉडल बनाए और हम सीएसआर के पास जाए, बताए कि वी हैव मोर एस और आई। आपने सोशल रिटर्न ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट की बात करते हैं, आपको ज्यादा मिलेगा, आपको ज्यादा विजिबिलिटी मिलेगा, आपको ज्यादा ओनरशिप मिलेगा, ज्यादा इंपैक्ट मिलेगा, उस हर बॉक्स आपका टिक हो जाएगा। तो कैन यू को क्रिएट दैट काइंड ऑफ ए मॉडल। Month before I got a call from Adilabad again, आश्रम स्कूल्स में, अब यकीन नहीं करेंगे, वहां के आश्रम स्कूल्स में आज जिस स्कूल में पढ़ाई होता है, जिस क्लासरूम में, वही बच्चे रहते भी है हॉस्टल में। दिस क्लासरूम बिकम्स हॉस्टल डॉर्मिटरी। तो हमें सोचने की जरूरत है, बच्चे का उम्र, बच्चे का समय इंतजार नहीं कर सकता। अब खेती रुक सकता है, एजुकेशन रुक नहीं सकता। क्या हम ये चीज को समझते हुए हमारा जो लिमिटेड रिसोर्सेस है उसको ऐसी जगह में इन्वेस्ट करें जो कि इम्पैक्टफुल हो, जो कि बिजनेस हाउसेस, गवर्नमेंट एंड सभी का विन विन सिचुएशन हो. दिस इज द नीड ऑफ द आवर इज टू co-create this kind of challenging model which can be more impactful and more feasible to scale up. With this, I stop here, sir, and hope this will be helpful for you. Thank you.
We are not smiling that you stopped, sir. We are very unhappy, but may you continue this passion that you have and the great work that Smile Foundation is doing. And before I open it up for the audience, we'll have two quick questions because aap log jo ho yahan pe, I keep saying, I respect all the wisdom and all the work that all of you sitting in the audience also have done. We are no experts. All of us in this room are equals. And if there are any two questions specifically at any of the speakers, please feel free. And then I will allow all the speakers to co-create and conclude this session. So any two questions, if we have our comments, feedback, suggestions, anything, please raise your hands and we'll come to you. Else you can think about it. I'll come one by one to each of our speakers to have the final say. And yes, sir. Sitaram ji, bataiye.
सर मैं एक ये कह रहा हूँ कि ऑनेस्टली इनसे पूछ ले कि एस्पिरेशनल ब्लॉक को कितने आदमी काम कर रहे हैं, इनसे ये हाथ उठवा लो भाई, आप जो भी कर रहे हो बहुत अच्छा काम कर रहे हो, वी आर नॉट यूजुअली डिमीनिंग दैट, नॉट डूइंग वंडरफुल वर्क, बट बेस्ड ऑन योर एक्सपीरियंस हाउ टू रेप्लिकेट वेयर द कंट्री नीड्स यू मोर. बिहार विकसित नहीं होगा तो भारत विकसित नहीं होगा.
बहुत बढ़िया. Anyone wants to tell us about Sivaram ji ने बहुत important ये किया. How many of you are presently working in aspirational blocks? Because I'm told there are 500 aspirational blocks that have been identified, correct? Sir. Excellent. Then coming to you, Sushant ji, you spoke about this shared value. What has been your experience? Because you know it's all good that in the program design we talk of co-creation, sharing. But today I really don't see enough of sharing or cross-fertilization happening. And that's why I think Hussain ji's initiatives are so important because he brings all stakeholders in one table. So sir, what has been your experience working with district administration, trying to really implement or make actionable this whole convergence and collaboration? Do you really think it's happening on the field in aspirational blocks?
I think there are two aspects to this. हर एक एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स के कलेक्टर जो होते हैं, जो अधिकारी होते हैं, कोई भी वजह हो, उनको रैंकिंग को आगे बढ़ाना है. तो मॉनिटरिंग एंड गवर्नेंस जो हिसाब में चल रहा है, तो एक तो ये है कि उनका रैंकिंग बढ़ाने के लिए उनको जरूर नई पहल करने की जरूरत है और कर भी रहे हैं. सवाल ये है पहल क्या है, इज इट लास्टिंग, इज इट को क्रिएशन है. तो ये उस यार्डस्टिक में हमें अपना प्रोग्राम डिजाइन को देखने की जरूरत है. बट देयर इज अ डिमांड always there in the district level. It is the question of what I am going to bring onto the table and able to negotiate with the district administration for a lasting change or a kind of a model I am going to offer.
Thank you. I'll come to you, sir, on my right. I keep going between the left and the right. It's important to take everybody along. Your ma'am spoke of outcome. Today we find that many of these innovative programs, and thank you sir, I want to build on what he just said, कि कुछ innovative करना है. However, हमें ranking बढ़ाना है. Ranking बढ़ाने के लिए हमारे पास time कम है. But when we talk of outcome and not output, it is a long term. So why do you think businesses would be interested in a long-term approach? Does it make any sense in your interaction with corporates? I'm sure you work with a lot of corporates. How do you think if you are an NGO making a proposal, they would be interested in a long-term approach? Do you think your partners are open to a long-term approach? If so, what is that long-term? Is it 2 years, 3 years, 5 years? What is the time period?
Nobody accepts the long-term projects because they will do events program. So we are looking for the collaboration with the long-term projects. So when you sow the seed, that fruit will never come instantaneously or within 2 years, because this has the germination period or germination time. The same way, whatever the projects we are doing under the CSR, they have their retention time and the retention results. So corporates, they want immediate results. That's the gap.
So I think this is very important feedback coming from we have a dedicated session with the NGOs today where we'll also talk a little bit more about what are the challenges that NGOs are facing, because I think, and thanks to Hussain ji for really having such purposeful dialogues, bringing all stakeholders, because it's important to understand each other. Because I always believe that eventually what all of us are trying to do is to write a love story between corporates and NGOs. And love can only happen between equals. And today we're not equals. Many NGOs feel that they're not equal. Coming to you, Manisha ji, talking of love, compassion, all these things, many corporates say, oh, we want to do something for our poor. We want to do something for our youth. Coming back to the analogy of the spectacle, I find that a lot of funders today are wearing tinted glasses, are biased glasses. They want to help, they want to do charity for SCs, STs, OBCs. How do you think your organization, or all of us, can actually, this whole behavioral change, I think today more than behavioral change is psychological change. We're always too wired into our identities, caste, class, gender. How do you think, what is that new spectacle required for Viksit Bharat to ensure that we start respecting people? We move away from sympathy and we move into dignity. We take up CSR projects which are not about, oh, wo garib hai iske liye humne kuch de diya. This arrogance, from there to move into a dignity-based CSR. How do you think your organization can bring those chairs? And this, I'm asking all thanks to Hussain ji, because he has appointed me as the chair of the Business and Affirmative Action. And I think that it is very important for us to talk today about how we speak of dignity of all our brothers and sisters and transgender friends in this country, because this country belongs to everybody. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Rohan. This actually I wanted to discuss during my presentation itself. So before answering your question, I want to share one thing. Our entire range of glasses, we deliver it under the concept dignity of choice. So we are serving everyone. Our glasses are gender neutral. Okay, and the range covers everyone. At our organization itself, we ensure that we wear the same glasses. In fact, I would add, Hussain ji is one of the beneficiary who is taking benefit of dignity of choice glasses. And we don't compromise with the choice. So what we did, we started collaborating with Make in India thing. So what we have done calculations on pricing aspects, we have done on supply chain, all calculations are done, and we ensured the glasses are not just for donation. We are working on change of behavior aspect. We are making people understand the usability, the need of glasses. We are ensuring they are not just taking the glasses from us. We are also encouraging them to contribute towards that, so that they will feel that we are taking these glasses not for free. We have done some contribution to these glasses. Might be a minimal amount. So what happens when you pay for something or contribute for something, you start respecting that particular object. So we have added that element, and I think I have answered the question that dignity of choice as well as adding the contribution concept itself has defined the dignity thing.
No, thank you so much. I think when
एक मिनट इसमें ऐड कर दूं।
जरूर सर।
देखिए दो तीन चीजें हैं, बिल्कुल बगैर पैसे की चीजें बता रहा हूँ और बहुत आराम से हो सकता। I met वसुंधरा जी 2-3 times। Yes। तो मैंने उनको एक ही बात कही कि आप एक काम करते वीमेन की डिग्निटी बढ़ाना चाहते हो, बताइए क्या काम करूं? मैं कि जो उनके नाम प्रॉपर्टी होगी तो उसकी जो रजिस्ट्रेशन फीस है दैट शुड बी हाफ। अब देखिए लाइन लग गई वहां पे और आदमी लोग नमस्ते करने लग गए महिलाओं। एक काम एक झटके में हो गया काम, कोई पैसा नहीं लगा, बस ये द परसुएशन रिक्वायर्स। सेकंड में बताया था आपको अपना गांव अपना काम का, ठीक है। जब गांव वालों ने 30% पैसा जमा करा दिया, मुझे खूब याद है जब कलेक्टर के पास जाते थे तो सर ये कर दो, अरे एप्लीकेशन पड़ेगी आप देखेंगे मतलब बड़ा मर्सीफुल लगता था। हम भी बैठे रहते थे कलेक्टर भी ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए आप लोगों को। लेकिन जब अपना गांव अपना लगी और 30% जब गांव वालों ने जमा कर दिया ना, कलेक्टर साहब क्या चक्कर है, सैंक्शन को नहीं निकाल लो आप, वो ही गांव का आदमी और ऑथोरिटी के साथ कहता था क्या बात है, कोई पैसे खाने हैं क्या, एक दफे तो ये कह गया वो। तो भाई ये देखिए कि इट हैज टू बी नॉट ओनली दैट वी मतलब we at our level we should do it, but we have to make the government to do it also.
Thank you so much. Sitaramji, I attend, one of my selfish interests of attending Rusenji's programs to hear ideas coming from you, because you give very practical ideas, and I think that's very important. And I will come to, because I believe that people have the ultimate power in a democracy. So the last question will be from the people, but before that, coming to you, Sir Vivekji, because you, yes, only 5 more minutes left. Vivekji, you spoke about, and building on what Sitaramji just said, today we are recognizing that we cannot move towards a Viksit Bharat if we do not address the gender question seriously. We understand that today, women are a sizable part of our workforce. Socially, economically, in every sector, women are shining, and it is their moment. And therefore, when you said the 3 M's, money, matter, manpower, I also want you to reflect a little bit on not just manpower, but woman power as well. And what has been your experience, sir, today of businesses investing in women? Because we know that today women are often seen by businesses or that once they become a mother, they become a non-productive resource. I'm sorry, but I always talk of social issues. It's important. We can't do development unless we talk of social issues. So, sir, over to you, sir.
This is a very good question from corporate side. Well, I'm in between corporate and NGO, but again, I will tell you that part also. No doubt, government is also taking a lot of a good step towards empowerment of our half population, like introducing women on the board of the company. But you have to think how you are changing the ratio of manpower within your workforce also, at shop floor also. So like charity starts from home. So usually what is happening sometimes, just to show the data, people are saying that okay, in ऐसा करो यार, अपना CSR में आप women empowerment का कोई project ले लो और वो देख लो. This is not the solution. You have to start from within the organization. So at least I can say proudly that in our organization, which is into chemical manufacturing, we are not into pharma like Sitaramji associated with Lupin, that is pharma. In pharma, there are possibility to engage women in the lab, especially in the lab and a formulation unit. But if you are into chemical company where in the shop floor and it is running since many years, that it is mainly men are working at the shop floor, and you have to change the entire strata. So you have to change the ratio. So in our organization, at least we have started not directly changing at the board level, but also at bottom level. So we started doing tie-up with the local ITIs and getting apprentice, not just apprentice, but additional candidate from the ITIs. We are inducting them, and just like any IT company, bench strength we are creating for them. They are learning, they are seeing. Some of them are just afraid to get regular employment. They are going out also or getting some other job also. But at least they are becoming aware that okay, this we can also do all this work. And slowly we have improved. So when we started this initiative in fact 2022, that time our ratio was around 4%. Now we have crossed 10%. We have crossed 10% in the manufacturing sector, chemical. Our target is to reach at least 20% in the next, also by 2030. So certainly we will reach there. No doubt in that, because we have started working from the ground. So in the CSR, no doubt we have that focus, but within the company also we are working on that. And without engaging with the local institution, in fact, this is not the case. We have engaged, utilized our CSR process also. So we started working with local schools, creating science lab in the schools, especially in the girls' schools, so that if they will be aware about science, certainly they will choose science subject in their class 11th, 12th, so that they can come to our company. So a lot of things are happening, not only in our organization, but many organizations, companies are now putting effort into this.
Thank you. Good to see that the aspiration is there. And we'll end, like I said, in a democracy, ultimate power rests with the people. You are the people. Quick 2 responses from the audience. Yes, ma'am.
Women in blue have actually proved that women are
Mm-hmm.
But women are really making a change out there.
Absolutely. And you make her happy because you're also wearing spectacles. But any question from this side of comments before we wrap up this session? This session has been one where we have spoken about eyesight because of spectacles. We have smiled. Sir, हाँ जी सर बताइए.
ये जो अभी जैसे दूध में घी छिपा हुआ है ना, हिडन है ना, तो जो प्रोसेस बताया जा रहा है उसमें ये जो भुनिया जी का जो प्रोसेस है ये गजब का परिवर्तन ला सकता है इस देश के अंदर. क्यों ला सकता है? रोजगार सृजन हमारी सबसे पहली प्राथमिकता है. यूथ पावर है. अगर हमारे देश की यूथ शक्ति बढ़ी, अगर उसके पास काम नहीं होगा तो भुभुक्षम की मिलत पावर. ठीक है, मैं नक्सल क्षेत्र से आता हूँ. अभी सब सिलेंडर कर रहे हैं. अब मैंने कहा कलेक्टर को कि ये सिलेंडर तो तुम करवा दिए बाई हुक बाई कुक, वो सारे रिसोर्स को आपको बाद में यानी सेकिंग करना है, तो आप एक वर्ग को वो करें. तो अगर इसको हम जो मियाँ जी ने विषय रखा है कि अगर कलाकार है, पेंटिंग लिखता है, दीवार लेखन करता है, अब देखिए इसमें कितना बड़ा हिडन पोटेंशियल छिपा हुआ है. सबके देश का विज्ञापन करना है. बाबा रामदेव को अपने ब्रांड का करना है, लुपिन को अपने ब्रांड का करना है. अगर हमने विलेज विलेज के ये लिखने वालों को एकत्रित किया, इनकी कंपनी बनाई और फिर उस कंपनी के आधार पर हम रामदेव को कहे कि मेरे पास 1 लाख व्यक्ति एक ही दिन रात को पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को कि एक ही दिन में मैं आपके एक पूरी लोकसभा के 3,000 गांव में दीवार लेखन कर दूंगा. तो वो जो लड़के कनेक्ट हैं उनको केवल मुझे टैबलेट से भेजना है. ये डिजाइन होगा, ये कमल फूल होगा, ये पंजा छाप होगा, तुम बनाओ, फोटो खींचो, भेजो, इमीडिएट पेमेंट लो और वो कर दो. तो अपने को क्या है, थोड़ा इस तरह की छोटी छोटी, इसको मैं कहता हूँ ग्रीन इकोनॉमी और सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी. मनुष्य के अंदर क्षमता है, वो अपने काम से पैसा कमाता है, कोई इनोवेशन से कमाता है, कोई और किसी आइडिया से. तो हमें छोटे छोटे आइडियाज को पकड़ करके उसको फिर एक विराट रूप देने की आवश्यकता है और उससे हमारा काम बन सकता है. ये मुझे पसंद आया.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, आपसे एकदम हम एक मत हैं. हाँ सर, आपसे विल टेक द लास्ट क्वेश्चन. काइंडली माइक दे दीजिए उनको अगर हो सके तो सर, नहीं तो आवाज को बुलंद कीजिए.
मेरा एक थॉट है एज ए सिटीजन, आप सॉल्यूशन पूछ रहे हैं तो एज अ सिटीजन, दो आई एम अ गवर्नमेंट एम्प्लॉय, आई डू नॉट हैव अ राइट टू कमेंट ऑन इट, बट एज अ कॉमन सिटीजन व्हाट इज टू बी डन टू रिमूव दिस थिंग? दिस इज माय पर्सनल थॉट, प्लीज डोंट कोट इट एनीवेयर. सो इसके लिए हमें ये करना चाहिए कि हमें इकोनॉमिकली और सोशली जो वीकर सेक्शन है इस तरीके से उनको डिवाइड करना है कि इररेस्पेक्टिव ऑफ कास्ट और फैमिली, जो इकोनॉमिकली और सोशली वीक है उनको ईदर वे या तो आप एजुकेशन में थ्रू आउट रिजर्वेशन दे दें या आप प्लेसमेंट में दे दें. तो इससे वाइडर एरिया आप कवर कर पाएंगे, वाइडर कम्युनिटी को कवर कर पाएंगे. और अगर एक आदमी अच्छा पढ़ जाएगा तो उसको रिजर्वेशन की जरूरत ही नहीं रहेगी, वो क्वालिफाई कर जाएगा. ठीक है. और अगर उसको अच्छा क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं मिला, विलेज में रिसोर्सेज नहीं मिले, तो उसको प्लेसमेंट में हेल्प करिए. दिस इज द वे. आपका जैसे जैसे इक्वलिटी आएगा और डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन हटेगा लोगों के मन से और इक्वलिटी रेस्पेक्ट जनरेट होगी. दिस इज जस्ट अ थॉट.
थैंक यू सो मच. मैं बहुत बहुत खुश हूँ एंड सॉरी बिकॉज ऑफ लैक ऑफ टाइम. फर्स्टली आई एम वेरी वेरी थैंकफुल टू ऑल ऑफ यू कि you have chosen to eat this food rather than the beautiful food outside. So thank you for choosing this food here that is being served. Food for thought. But I think this session, just to wrap up the session, and thank you to all my speakers. Thank you for really bringing diverse perspectives. Thank you to all the speakers in the auditorium sitting on the other side. This session was just the appetizer session. और बहुत कुछ जो यहाँ से निकल के आ रहे हैं thoughts. We will continue the discussion if Rusenji allows me to moderate. I will be happy to continue some other discussions. But I think what really came out, and to summarize, today we spoke of outcome. And this is very important. Today, be it whether you're an NGO, be it whether you're a corporate, be it whether you're a district collector, I think unless you have a long-term vision in a mission mode, all these initiatives will just be charity or ad hoc. And that is where, we will not end up giving dignity. I think today what we are talking about is how do we give dignity to people who are staying in these aspiration districts? Even if somebody comes from a, SC, ST, OBC background, how can we say, because at the end of the day, and those of you working in skill development, you will see that we might give them the best skill development, but when they come to the cities for the interview, जब अंग्रेजी में interview होती है, they feel little small, and that is what ensures they don't get the job. So soft skills also becomes important. And I think eventually it is about dignity, and I'm so glad that we on this panel spoke about it. And with that, I think we'll end with a smile, sir. You're a great ambassador for Smile Foundation. So are you for wearing the spectacles. You're, and sir, thank you for coming from Hyderabad. Next time, hopefully you'll get us some biryani from there. And sir, thank you for making us not only unlock and but also unlearn several of the things that we wanted to. And with that, over to you. We have similar hairstyles. Over to you. Thank you so much, and for being a wonderful audience.